Good afternoon or good evening, I should say, fellow aquarium scientists. Hope everybody is doing well. Sorry, I was just checking something. Gonna give it a couple of moments for notifications to go out and people trickle in, and we can get the party starting. Please do let me know if you can hear me, see me okay. If I can get an audio visual check, please. Excuse me. Hello there, Nathan. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Just waiting a couple of moments for more people to pop in. I'm also checking something real quick. Oh, my Lord. Cool. 2 people watching right now. That's totally okay. Just going to talk about a few things, and initially I was going to do a water change on this tank right here. But I kind of don't feel like doing it right now. I am going to do it. I'll probably do it tomorrow. The reason I'm not going to do that is because this one also needs a water change, and I might do that today. Because earlier this morning I was at a client's house because I needed to finish up some work there on a 100-gallon tank. But yeah. So Nathan is asking, while we wait, do you excuse me. Do you use any fertilizer CO2 for the plants you sell? I forgot if you do dry or full tanks of water with them. So I keep them fully submerged. There are videos out there, so this is completely fully submerged. This tank does CO2, the bottom does not. I keep mostly easy to maintain epiphytes, anubias, bucephalandras, things like that down there, and a lot of the other, and basically everything else here. And then I keep tissue cultures up here. So tissue cultures are up there. So yes, I do CO2 on that tank, and I do fertilize as well. I use Tropica, obviously. So I use Tropica fertilizer, and I use the pipette to measure. I use the pipette to measure the dose that I want, and I do that accordingly. I do test the water before I dose, just as a precaution, um, just to make sure I'm not overdosing and ending up with water quality issues like algae. Um, but yeah, I need to do water changes on all my tanks, but don't feel like it. I know, right? But water changes are important. Sometimes you just gotta push yourself. Sometimes you're in the mood for them. Sometimes, you know, helps you get your mind off of things. But then there are times where you're just like, I just want a nap, like I was doing today. Like I just woke up from a nap, which is why I started the live stream a bit late. So I do apologize for that. But these tanks are way overdue. I was having some issues with this tank. I mean, to be fair, this tank here was pretty empty anyway. However, I do have a lot of the plants that were left over from the group buy that I did with uh, Lancaster County Aquarium Club, or the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County, excuse me. And so there were a few plants that were left over, and so they're in here now. And the lights were still off for a little bit, but I just turned the lights on today. They're on a timer now. Um, so I have to do a big maintenance on that tank, but that tank I've been maintaining on a weekly basis, and it's due for a water change today technically, and because it's small enough, it's not going to take that long. So um, I'll probably do it on the stream. If not, if there is time, otherwise I'll just do it once we're done the stream. Um, but yeah. But yeah, so that's one update is that. Um, I got some new additions in this tank, which I'm not going to mention right now. There's going to be a video coming out for that. It's going to be part of the update for this tank and the beta tank upstairs. The Endler tank is same old, same old. Um, I actually have to top that tank off with water too, which I'm going to do while I'm doing a water change on that. But that's that. And then Nathan says, "Nice. I'm currently sorta doing tests with 3 different fertilizers: API, Landon, and Dry from Liquid Gardens. Cool. Yeah, API fertilizers was what I initially started off using when I first started keeping planet tanks, and then but I wasn't using them for long because not too long after I was able to buy Tropica stuff. This is before the business, by the way. And so I then started using the Tropica fertilizer. So Nathan, if you're interested, you can definitely get some of the Tropica stuff and try that out too. Hello there, fish family. Thank you very much for stopping by. Appreciate it. So, just a few things related to the business. So, I kind of mentioned it before, but there's a thing that pops up right now. Is there's a new rewards program for site members. So if you click that, it brings you to this cool page here, which gives you some information of how to sign up or how to earn points. So obviously you sign up, then you earn points by either doing a purchase, signing up to the site, excuse me, writing a product review, which there's some updates with this, which we're gonna kind of talk about, or celebrating your birthday. Which I don't know how that's going to work because I don't even think there is a place for you guys to mention your birthday, or maybe there is. I don't know, but it's there. And then once you get about 100 Aquarius points, you get a $10 discount, which is cool. And then you just click that, you log in to become a member. In terms of that product review thing that I was talking about, so let's go here. Also, you may have noticed there are a lot more plants in stock now. Woohoo! So some of these plants are from that group buy. I still have a few more to add to the product page. Um, but I am also very happy to say that there will be a Tropica shipment coming in this week. So you're going to see some Tropica plants also in stock. This plant here, might as well use that for the review example too, but Bucephalandra ketagang has not been coming in stock for a while, and it finally came in stock. And so I added it to this coming order. Um, Hopefully it does come in because Tropica has been out of stock of the potted ketagang for a while. And so I ordered that in. It's a pretty cool plant. It's more of a darker green, reddish color, especially the stem portion of it. Different leaf shape from the bouquet clem too. But basically, there's a new update with the reviews. So the last system that I did, the last thing that I did for reviews was something that I actually made and integrated to this website. This is more integrated to the website, if that makes sense. So like if I click leave a review, boom, a whole, traditional review thingy pops up. Um, you put your name there, your email, which isn't shown publicly. You rate how many stars. I need to fix that because I don't know why that's coming up as orange. It should be coming up as red. Title of your review, your actual review, and then if you want to post some pictures of the products you got or a video, you can definitely do that. And then if you leave a review, and then before you submit a review, if you log in and then submit a review, you get 5 points for each review that you give, if that makes sense. So pretty easy ways to get 100 points, if I may say so. Um, but yeah, some real cool plants are coming in. Um, there's some tissue culture plants that are also coming in. So Pogostemon helferi is coming in. What else is coming in? Marselia. Um, uh, what else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. There are other more plants coming in, but those have technically already been sold. Tim, Crypt Keeper, he placed a special order with me for some Tropica crypts, and so that's what the rest of the plants are coming in with. And some of the plants that are coming in that order are actually back in stock requests. So I'm hoping. Oh, here's another one. Ludwigia palustre super red is also coming in. Um, most likely we'll do a unboxing on the Atlantic Aquarium's YouTube channel. Um, and because of the amount of plants that are now in stock, I have enough variety to open up the mystery plant pack. The only option that is not available is the medium category, I believe, but easy and mixed is available. And then obviously, if you do a monthly subscription, you get a little bit of a discount. Excuse me. And then it's nothing really important, but there's now a review or testimonial section for the aquarium installation and maintenance, and that's the client I was talking about earlier. He was very kind enough to leave a review, and you can actually see the tank that I am working on as part of that slideshow. Yeah, so that's a 100-gallon wave tank, so it has a wave on the front, and it's filled with yellow African cichlids. Which, by the way, we're currently working on swapping some of those yellow cichlids out for a different color morph. So if anybody is in the New Jersey area, southern New Jersey area, Burlington County area, and are interested in some of these cichlids, let me know. But yeah, so that's the updates with that. Please stop sharing. Hello there, Zen. Thank you very much for stopping by. I've heard great things about Tropica fertilizer. I mainly use API because when I got into plants, I tried co-op and wasn't getting good results. Probably my fault. And switched to API and saw results. Cool. That's great. Yeah, if you're using something that is obviously giving you the results you want, then you definitely want to use it. So that's great. And thank you, Zen, for sharing the link to the Atlantic Aquarium's YouTube channel. I appreciate that. But yeah, so before I get started on the water change, if there are any other questions or comments, we still got 3 people watching, which is fine. I was hoping by changing the time, pushing back, and starting the live stream a little later on a Sunday that there'd be more people, but I guess not, but that's okay. All right, so while you guys mingle, I'm going to be right back. I just gotta grab something that is upstairs that I need for the water change. And we're back. All right. Just give me a moment. I have to grab some stuff. I'm gonna push this back a little bit. So this is a siphon hose that is actually meant for nano tanks. It's made by Hiro, Hiro. They're well known for their terrarium stuff. Um, and so I use this on the fluval beta tank upstairs, and I also use it for this tank here because it's pretty small and it's got a little guard on the end. If you can kind of see it. And so, baby fish, shrimp, things like that, technically won't go through there. But it does come with a different attachment, or you can just take it off, which I've kind of done before to get like a lot of the, sometimes there's a bit more debris scattered around and it's kind of hard for it to get sucked up on here. If you put this guard on, this is mainly if you're just doing a water change. And don't care about sucking up any debris or anything like that unless it's like free floating. But I kind of also need to siphon off some mold that's accumulated on top of the soil, and so I might take this off, and I just have to be very careful to not suck up anything. Most of the fish in here are pretty. Actually, no, I take that back. Not all of the fish, not most. Some of the fish are big enough that they aren't technically going to suck through here, but there are still some fry in there. So just gotta be careful, I guess. You know what? I'm just gonna play it safe. Just leave this on because I don't trust myself. And usually I take the light off, but at least you guys can kind of take a look. So obviously, got to turn the hang on back filter, the Fluval Aqua Clear, then the heater as well. And I always forget which one is which. That's not it. It's the back one. There we go. Okay. Guppies are like, what's going on here? So this is just a toothbrush that I have set aside for cleaning the glass. I'll just do a quick pass by here. A toothbrush really comes in handy to get like the corners as well. For bigger tanks, I'll use like a like one of those sponges that have like the green side, the more rougher side. to really get some of that pesky algae. Sometimes I'll use that on here as well, but today, it was right there, so might as well use that. If I look closer to the glass, there's like something on the inside that I don't really know what it is. It's not noticeable unless you really look through or are very observant, but it's fine. And this side here, it gets a little bit tricky because of the load of crypts that are growing. There were actually crypts like here as well. I took those out to bring to the picnic, the Crime Club of Lancaster County picnic. They did an auction, and so I brought some of those crypts there, as well as a few other plants. Then I also bought some stuff too. I'm just going to take this light off just momentarily, just so I can get the other side. Big Java fern in the back here makes it a bit hard to scrub and get the hose in the bag. Oops, sorry. Be right back. I'm gonna move the light down for a little bit. Just see if there's anybody here. Oh, it's LJ Shrimp. Welcome. Great to see you. I still love those square low boys. Yeah, and I'm the lucky one because they don't make those anymore unless you make custom ones. And before I even do any water changes, one thing that I definitely do is I will go around in this tank and pull out any plants that are not doing too well, especially with the floaters. So, like I've got some Salvinia caculata. I just pull out. It also gives some room for newer growth, and the plants that are degrading won't foul up the water. It's a little bit annoying. Um, but gotta do it. I'm not too like nitpicky. I don't take everything out, but if I'm seeing anything, even with a little bit of um, discoloration, or if I notice a specimen is not doing too well, I will pull it out because I know it's not going to do well anyway. And this grows like crazy too, so it's not a total loss. Prof hasn't been doing too well in this tank. I don't really know why, but well, I might know why. But or says I could only get frogwood to grow in one of my tanks. Yeah, I mean it grows in this tank too, but then after a while, I don't know why it just I start losing a lot of them. Probably because I have like two types of floating plants in here. I don't know. I do hope at some point when I have the room to dedicate separate tanks or tubs just to grow floaters. Um, I mean, right now I've got plenty of Salvinia caculata. So if anybody wants some Salvinia, let me know. Quite enough. And I already did some trimming on the stem plants in the back, so I'm not gonna do much. That's Bacopa caroliniana over there, and then that's a Rotala. Can't remember what color variety. It's a Rotala species. I think orange juice is what that is. Um, It's usually a bit more colorful than that, but the light that I have on here is a Aqueon, and it's great for beginner plants, but not so much for plants like that you need some good lighting to get some of that coloration. I am planning on upgrading the light. So, which reminded me, I forgot another thing I wanted to mention. Um, so in the previous stream, I guess, um, there were a few questions about if I could get in the AI or aqua illumination lights, and it at the time it looked like I couldn't. However, um, I was able to find a wholesaler where I could get it from. And there's also a lot of newer dry goods because of this new wholesaler. I'm able to get a lot of other cool dry goods that I wasn't able to get anywhere else. Um, some shrimp nets, Dimax snail eliminator. So it's a great way to help with the any snail infestations. Ultra black water supplement, Shrimp King Salwasi salt. So if you're keeping Salwasi shrimp, that's a salt mix specifically designated for that. Uh, Obviously, the Shrimp King Cambarellis, which is for your crayfish, lobsters, things like that. Um, and then Shrimp King Dadap leaves, which is a food supplement for your shrimp and crayfish. And then this right here. So I am now able to get in the aqua illumination or AI blade lights. Right now it's just the freshwater, but the marine versions will be coming on the website soon. As of right now, unless it's a special circumstance where I am issuing custom shipping rates, this item is only local pickup. So if you live close by or you got a friend that lives close by and can pick it up for you, that's great. Otherwise, you can reach out to me and I'm happy to ship it to you, but it's not going to be the flat rate shipping because these items are just a bit too big for my current shipping uh, procedure to ship it out, if that makes sense. Um, but I am still willing to ship it out. Just reach out to me. I want to make sure that I get you what you need. But it is a great light. I've used AI lights before on the marine side. Um, you know, and I like the controllability of them. The app is pretty straightforward to use. The um, but like any technology and aquarium equipment, it has its downsides as well. Um, but it is to be expected. But AI is very good on warranties and replacing or fixing the lights, things like that. So, but yeah, just another thing I wanted to mention, which is pretty cool. And it comes in different sizes. So it comes in 12-inch, 21, 30, 39, 48, 57, 66 inches. And it kind of explains how the lengths are so that way you can determine if basically like what size uh, light you need. And then obviously it mentions the accessories, which are basically mounting options for the lights. But it's a cool light. The only another thing that I hate about the Blade Freshwater, and I spoke with one of the representatives at Reefapalooza about it, was the fact that the freshwater lights, I could only find them in white. Um, the marine version is in black, but the freshwater is in white. And I asked them about that. I was like, "Is the blade freshwater gonna come in black anytime soon?" And what she said, I was a bit kind of, I didn't know what to make of it, if I'm being honest with you. She basically said that through data analysis of people buying the lights, what they found was saltwater people like to buy lights in black, freshwater people like to buy lights in white. So the, like for example, the and the reason they know this is because of these guys right here, the hydras. So the AI hydra freshwater, it comes in two colors, right? It comes in black, it comes in white. What they found out was more people who are freshwater are buying the white version than the black. And it does cost them a lot to make the aluminum, the metal body of this, in the color and all that stuff. And so they ended up, when they were making the blades, they decided to just offer the freshwater version in white and the marine in black. And I literally looked at her and I was like, "You're literally looking at somebody who loves the color black, and so I want my equipment in black. I want my lights in black, regardless if I'm putting it on a freshwater tank." Like, it didn't make sense as to why white, because like if you look at the tank behind me, right, if I want to put that light on a rim tank, the rims are not white, they're black. And so it doesn't make sense for me to put a white light on a black rim tank. um which she was like, "Yeah, you've got a point." And I was like, "Exactly." um but there's no AI blade freshwaters coming out in black. So when I do get this light in, it's, I have to deal with the fact that it's going to be in white, but that's whatever. um it is a pretty powerful light. Like, I've seen it being used, and like when I put it on this tank, I am going to have to bring the intensity down of this for sure. um but anyway, back to maintenance. I'm gonna try and find my towel. Found it. Literally just came out of the dryer, but I use it. And that's my sign that I hooked this up wrong way. One of the things I hate about this siphon hose is they don't write on the thing, on the hand pump, which way is in, which way is out, which is stupid. Um, but I digress. Let's try it again. There we go. So I'm just going to briefly take this off for a moment, keeping an eye on it. There we go. So I am literally just hovering it over real briefly and just trying to get as much of the mold off. Sometimes I'll get um, some of the soil, and that's bad for this type of thing because it gets clogged up and it gets annoying. Like what's happening right now. There's also a guppy. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I do not like the fact that there's a lot of bare soil, like there's nothing growing on the soil. Ideally, what I wanted was a carpet here of like Marsilia or something like that, and there was Marsilia growing, but I guess because the floating plants just covered the light so much, it just didn't really do that well, and I ended up losing it. Um, um, so it's been like that, but I haven't really done much because I'm planning on rescaping this tank anyway, so I'm not that bothered by it. Also, do let me know if you guys can hear me or not because I'm not really talking that loud. I just realized. A lot of gunk back here. Not gonna be able to get all of it, but it is a start. And I'm just like shaking the tube just to agitate the mulm so it kind of lifts up and then it immediately gets sucked in. That's good enough. Hopefully I did not suck in any stuff. I'll try to be as careful as possible. And then what I do is I grab my torch light. Loomis. Just take a quick gander just to see if I sucked up anything. And it doesn't look like it, so that's good. Cool. Excuse me. We've got Whip. Welcome, Whip. Glad to see you here, buddy. And of course, Monsieur Scotty is here, who I always think is going to be the first one here, and he's never the first one here. What's up with that? Now, another thing that I do is obviously clean out the filter media in the back, and not just that, but also the pre-filter sponge on the intake. So I'm gonna grab that, and I usually clean it out in the water that I took out, because the media and that sponge is home to beneficial bacteria, and I do not want to kill it. So I'm just gonna briefly take that off. And of course, I've got stuff that's going to float out of there, but that's okay. So briefly squeeze the gunk out of there as much as possible. All clean. I'm also going to take, actually, I'll get it later. There was a time when I did the last water change. For some reason, that pre-filter fell off, and obviously the filter was running, and I was mortified because I did not want any of the fry or anything going in, getting sucked in. And thankfully, because I'm looking right now, it doesn't look like anything got sucked in, so that's great. And so, if you never know what's in a hang on back or the aqua clear, it's basically you've got the little thing, you've got a sponge in the back, and then you've got the filter media at the top. I have 2 bags of the biomedia because I had 2 of these running, one on here, one on another tank, and then the 20 long, and then I took that off, and I just decided to keep the biomedia bag that was in there in this one just to keep it seated. So if I need to set up another tank with a hang on back filter, like for quarantine or whatever the case might be, I'll have some filter media ready to go to help with that. So, and obviously, when I'm not using it in another tank, it's adding more beneficial bacteria or home for beneficial bacteria in this tank. And so I just give the media a little bit of a shake just to get any debris out of it. It's usually not bad. Give it a little shake. I'm just gonna pop up right over here for a moment. Usually I have a towel over here, but I'm very ill prepared today. I do apologize. Then I'm just gonna squeeze that sponge. So it goes from very dark black to pretty clean. It's really hard to, it's not looking good on the camera, but it's pretty clean. And then I also give this a little bit of a scrub or a wipe, so I'll just rub it and get any type of debris off of that as best as possible. Doesn't have to be that perfect. It's mainly on the inside that I focus on. Then give it a shake. And then I'm gonna put it back in. just like that. And then just going to plop it back in here. Put the biomedia back in. So some exciting news that I wanted to also mention is at the aquarium that me and Scotty work at, I will now be working with the sea jelly exhibits. So we have moon jellies and sea nettles, Pacific sea nettles, and we have the Cassiopeia, the upside down jellies. And so I will, because I'm going to be working with the biologist that works on those exhibits. And so I will be working on those. I will also be maintaining the live food cultures. So your brine shrimp, um, rotifers, uh, green water, green algae, um, uh, the cyclops, mysis shrimp, stuff like that is also what is maintained. I will be helping maintain, and then the Florida Reef Track tanks is also something that I'm going to be helping with. I'm hoping. For those of you who don't know what I mean by the Florida Reef Track project, so a lot of the local corals down in Florida are currently under threat. There is a coral wasting disease that biologists are still trying to figure out what is the cause of that. And so what they've done, and so what the Florida government has done was they went out and collected healthy specimens and brought them out. And basically, through the Association for Zoos and Aquariums, they were then distributed to participating zoos and aquariums where they would be housed and taken care of, um, so that one day they can be reintroduced back into the wild once we figure out what and do more study on what is causing this very horrific disease. So like the protocols to work with those corals is pretty intense. Um, like every piece of equipment that you use for those tanks can only be used for that equipment. Let's say a pump for a protein skimmer breaks down. To replace that pump, you have to get a brand new pump. You can't just swap a pump from a different system and hook that up. It has to be a brand new pump, sterile. Um, the cleaning equipment that you use for water changes and all that has to be only for that system. When we go into the area, we actually have to step on a shoe wash pad. It's basically like a black pad with a disinfectant solution to kill off any bacteria or anything that's being brought in from our shoes. And then if you're going to actually work in the tanks with the corals, you actually have to clean your hands with a disinfectant as well, and do the same thing when you're leaving. Um, but it's pretty exciting because it brings me back to the days of working in a lab and things like that. So I was the first day was this past Friday, and I was grinning the entire time because I was like, I can't wait to work with this stuff. But pretty exciting. Um, cool. So I've done the water change. I've cleaned um the filter media. Probably the next water change, I'm actually going to do a deep clean of the hang-on back filter. The intake tube has to be cleaned out a bit, and I'll probably do it then. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna go and discard this water here, and then we're gonna start filling it back up. I might have to do 2 rounds because I used the gallon water jugs. So I use this to top off my smaller tanks. With these larger tanks, I now have a 75-foot Python hose that I bought for the maintenance, for my maintenance program, installation and maintenance program, and I'm going to use that to do water changes on this. So now I don't necessarily have to lug buckets constantly. So pretty excited about that. It does mean I have to modify my sink, meaning take off the little aerator. I'm hoping that it'll fit on my sink. It should, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited about that. It did cost a lot. It was roughly like 100 something. Oh yeah, I'll be right back. Ooh. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. And of course, if you guys have any questions or about anything, always ask. You can even kind of see the lights are starting to dim down. They're on an 8-hour time cycle, so hello, Michael Myers. Michael Myers, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Be right back. And I'm back. More water. And I just realized that I should have fed them before doing the water change, but that's okay. They'll still eat. Be right back. Got 2 people watching. That's fine. Almost there. Almost. 1 more gallon. I appreciate the two that are watching. Yeah, on my end it's saying two, but I probably it's not accurate, but if there are more than two watching, that's great. I appreciate it. All right, guys, one more gallon. I'll be right back. We're back. I appreciate that, Whip. Thank you. Fish fam link is not accurate, it looks like. Uh-oh. Laura's like, lies. So I'm just gonna open that up because I do have to put more water in there just to help it. Um, I'm also thinking maybe not for this tank, but for this one here. You can't even see it. For this one here, when I set up a 10 gallon for these guys, um, I was thinking of using the other aqua clear on this one, but just to add a little bit of variety, I think I'll actually hook up the Oase BioStyle hang on back on this one, just to just to see how that one does. Even though I have seen them working and used them before, but just to add a little bit of variety, if you will. So this one would have and apparently Flugel just announced. I don't know if you guys saw. Flugel just announced a new hang-on back filter. So I think they're actually. Don't quote me on this, but I think they're. It's still the aqua clear, but they remodeled it. I think they made it a little slimmer, if I don't recall. But I haven't really looked that much into it. I've just seen the announcement posts that they've done. But I am curious about what they changed. When I'm filling the aqua clear, I usually pour it from this side here. That way it goes the natural route that it goes. So any gunk that's built up here, it'll push it into that chamber here so that it filters out. There are a bunch of whips back here. There was actually a spider. Yeah, it's still there. There's a daddy long legs right underneath, chilling underneath that hang on back. Scotty is almost caught up. And Scotty's saying these numbers aren't adding up. Laura needs more baby half beats. Hello there, Life Lessons. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now it's saying 4 on my end. Excuse me. And the hang on back. I usually have it on the lowest setting, but then I move it to the higher setting because then this is flush on the propeller and it just helps it prime faster. And then once it does start going, I'll move it to the slow thing. This thing is rated for I think up to 20 gallons. Come on, almost there. There we go. I'm just gonna fill this up with a little bit more water. And now all the floaters are just going round and round. Ah, come on. Nope. Did not mean to do that. Sorry. And then the remaining water, I usually like to just top off the other tanks. Don't want to waste any. Cool. And then top this one off. Going to cap this off. Put the light back on, which is still trying to turn off. So one thing that I've done with the light is I've actually pushed it. So instead of keeping it in the middle, I've pushed it in the back a bit more so that it's more on top of the stem plants. And I've noticed that it does better that way. Still not bright enough. It is an old light, so it is starting to lose a lot of its intensity. So I definitely want to upgrade it. What I'm thinking of is for the new tank that I'll set up here, I'm going to have AI. For this one, I'll probably replace it with the Fuvo Plant 3.0. I got to save some money, though. And that's that. Let me just rearrange here real quick. Cool. And that's that. Like I mentioned, these tanks and probably that tank I will work on tomorrow. It depends because I just found out that tomorrow evening we're going to um the Dulles Airport, Washington D.C. One of my aunts is coming back from Saudi Arabia, so my mom wants to go visit. So probably won't have enough time to do all of that because I also need a break because I have been working nonstop this entire week and I'm getting worked out, so burnt out, I should say. So probably tomorrow morning, afternoon, I'm just not going to be doing anything, and then we'll start doing stuff during the evening. Scotty says Bentley reviewed the full filter on one of his recent streams. Oh, cool. And he thinks he's caught up. That's cool. But yeah, so if you guys are just coming, I mentioned a bunch of updates during the beginning of the stream. Some of them related to my business, Atlantic Aquariums. There most likely will be a live plant unboxing from Tropica coming up this week. So stay tuned for that if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification bell for that for the Atlantic Aquariums channel yet. Make sure you do that. I think Zen shared the link, so thank you for that, Zen. And that's pretty much all I have, unless you guys want to talk about anything. No, Scotty. I'm gonna pass. I do appreciate the offer, but it's a bit of a long drive, and I need a day off. I need a day where I'm not going out to do anything. I want to stay home and be lazy for once. Um, but I do appreciate the offer. Somebody else can get those tanks. Um, but yeah, let me know how that goes. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to turn the heater on. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, I think we'll wrap things up. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining or knowledgeable. Um, so I do appreciate that. Please let me know if this time works for you. I'm not too sold on a Sunday on 5 o'clock Sunday to do a live stream because again, not that many people here. Um, so I might have to rethink what day and time I want to do a live stream. Um, but yeah, so do let me know what you guys think. If you haven't answered that poll that I posted in the community tab, I would highly recommend you do that because it will help a ton. Um, mm, yeah, Whip, I'm aware. Usually the goal is to just do an hour live stream. So at 5, there's usually nobody scheduled. Skipper is usually scheduled at 6. So um, so I am obviously more than an hour in. That's mainly because I was doing a water change. But usually these live streams would only um take an hour. Different day in the evening would be better. Yeah, the problem is that on during the weekdays, it's pretty busy. According to Fish Fam Link's calendar, at least, which is what I go off of. Um, and like on a Sunday, I'm usually off. These are my days off, except for when I'm teaching Sunday school. But I mean, we're done Sunday school. Sunday school is out by like 1:30, so that's why I chose Sundays because it just works for me. Um, Mondays I'm also off currently. That is going to change once the fall semester starts, but usually Mondays are dedicated to Atlantic Aquariums, so that's the day where I'm solely working on the business, um, or relaxing. Um, but but we'll see. Yeah, and that's the thing is like I would much rather do a live stream in a slot where nobody else is doing it because I don't want to take up any of the slots, and I know that people are gonna want to go on some of the other time slots. So it just does not make sense to choose a time slot that there are other live streams going on, especially from by people as notable as Susie Q or Skipper. So yeah, I definitely don't want to do a live stream when others are live streaming. Um, Skipper is 5. Susie is 6. I thought Skipper was 6 o'clock last time I saw. Did I read the calendar wrong? Because when I talk about 5, I'm talking about Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. So when I talk about Sunday 5 o'clock, that's Eastern Time, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 5 p.m. Professor FishTanks, 6 p.m. Happy Place Aquatics and Skipper's Aquariums, and then Susie Q Aquatics, 7 p.m. Yeah. So I think Whip, you're referring to like 5 o'clock, not Eastern Standard Time. And then Michael Myers says Father Fish was on a while back. Yeah, I think he is scheduled. When is he scheduled? He's not even on the schedule. Yeah, he's not on the schedule on the calendar, but I do know that he does go live at some point on a Sunday. But obviously, it's not a good time because I'm looking at the numbers right now. It's 4 people, which is okay. I'm not complaining. But it would be nice to have more people, but that's okay. Do my eyes deceive me? Scotty's going to do water changes. I am proud of you. More so because I want to move the tanks. Hey man, if that's going to get you to do a water change, that's fine by me. Bought a 15-pound bag of Brightwell shrimp soil. May be good for a while. Cool. Yeah, I only carry fluval stratum mainly because that's the soil that I started off with, and it's a good soil. But I now exclusively just use Tropica, so I have Tropica as well. And Tropica soil is great for shrimp as well. So I don't really see the need to carry Brightwell. Not bashing on Brightwell. I carry Brightwell's supplements and stuff like that. I just don't carry the soil because I think Tropica is great with soil. Shrimp, excuse me. I think the father fish has run its course. I haven't seen him in forever. I've seen him go live a few times. Probably not recently, but summer is always slower. Everyone's numbers are lower on the summer. Could be, for sure. I'm honestly more into this kind of streams and fish keeping. Cool, I appreciate that. Yeah, my live streams are way different than most. A lot of the times you're seeing people just chatting and things like that. My goal with my live streams is more on the scientific side. So if you guys have got husbandry and aquarium science related questions, water chemistry, things like that, those are the type of things I want to talk about. But that's obviously if you guys have those questions. If nobody's asking any questions, I've really got nothing but giving you updates, and that doesn't last long. That's not an hour long live stream. Sorry, that was a bug. Whip, he's on a 4-hour block tonight on like 4 channels. He's still very much around. Or says, Father Fish gave me duckweed. No, no duckweed for me. In that free bag of plants at the Clash, I killed them all. Good. Probably still came back though. It is impossible to kill duckweed or get rid of it. Nope. That's exactly how I like it. There's always something new to learn. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. And I don't know everything. There's a lot of things I learned from the community, but my perspective on fish keeping comes from a scientific background. So similar, like Kelly and um, people like her, Rebecca, freshwater theologist. So not the duckweed; it's everywhere now. The plants he gave me, I killed off. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, "There's no way you got rid of all the duckweed." Thanks for stopping by, Whip. I appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. Um, Thank you again for stopping by and chatting. If you are watching the replay, thank you very much for still coming. I apologize you weren't able to make the actual live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It does give me a little bit of a boost when I see that people like the content I give out. And then obviously, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do so and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next live stream or videos coming up. I've got a few videos lined up. It's just that I've been very busy and I'm pretty much burnt out right now, so it's really hard for me to want to do anything. But I'm pushing myself. So stay tuned for that. Um, Zen, you crack me up. Um, But yeah, I appreciate that. Make sure you do your water changes like I just did. And with that being said, take care. Happy fish keeping. And I'll see you later.